The New York Times laments the absence of the novel reading man. Now, just as a brief overview of this article, it says that men are reading less literary fiction, but not necessarily fewer books overall. Men do tend to gravitate towards genre fiction or things like that. 20% of fiction readers are male statistic is a little shaky. I don't think you want me to write that. That would be extremely inappropriate. I would get in trouble. uh, and then there are cultural, institutional, and stylistic shifts at play when a man is going to take a break. He has a lot more options available to him than sitting down with a novel. Now he has video games, he has YouTube, he has board games. That's a big one for me. Tabletop wargaming, people.
But
And
the
it
thing
consumes a lot
is,
of time.
men are reading books. They're just not reading the kinds of books that the New York Times considers to be literary.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and this is actually an ongoing trend. The New York Times has been doing a lot of articles kind of bemoaning where are the men? Because there's this realization in the Democrat Party specifically that they've alienated men across the board in all demographics and all races. Men have really walked away from the Democratic Party. And so you're seeing for kind of Democrat organs like the New York Times, which is very much kind of a mouthpiece for the party. This bemoaning, and it's really kind of this bigger political story being applied to various aspects of life. And it's like, oh, we chased away all of the men from our literary world by demeaning them and belittling them, and particularly belittling their preferences. And now they're not here. Please come back. We miss you. We want your money. And so we're going to see more stories like this. I remember somebody reaching out to me wanting to come on the podcast, and he was one of these literary men that they're talking about, and he even lived in New York City. It was like he was this unique unicorn.
Yeah, wow, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, they're looking for him. I didn't end up doing that interview, but they do exist. I remember years ago in one of my mastermind groups, I had an author who was trying to fill the space, and the way he was doing it was with classics. And that's what these New York Times readers don't realize, is that a lot of kind of more literary minded men are opting to read classics of old rather than the modern slop that is presented as literary fiction. And part of it is political, part of it is stylistic. But if you want to write for men, you have to be willing to listen to men, and you have to be willing to love men. Right? You have to love your reader.
Yeah. Well, you got to get used to how men express things too, because it's not always verbally or whatever. You just look at what they're doing. Okay, I have tons of men reading my books. So.
I have a whole episode called "How to Write Books Men Want to Read." It's my, I think, second or third most popular episode on YouTube of all time. And apparently I reference it a lot because Jonathan just did the "We've all got a bingo square" motion. So let's move on to the next story.